Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 14 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So here I am painting the rest. A lot of times when I make flower paintings, I use a lot thinner kind of stalks. that doesn't sound like the right word, so that's why I'm laughing, because I am so bad with flower terms. Oh, and the flowers themselves, like how to, what my fake flower should be called. Because really, they don't look exactly like what they should be anyways. But I just thought, I'm gonna make some thicker stalk does not sound right, but for, again, whatever I'm trying to say, that's what we're gonna go with here. I'm just gonna make some flowers. We're just gonna make some flowers. And if you've watched before, a lot of times I put way too much paint on my paintbrush, and that can cause some problems. So we'll again kind of see how that goes as we go along here. That one kind of did a wild thing where it went sideways. Oh, something's falling. But I like what happened to it, so I'm not gonna complain at all. So today was one of those very emotional days for us. For me, Owen had a lot on his mind as to how he wanted me to know about his day and what was happening and how he felt about it, and how he wanted me to handle life. And that complicates you, that complicated me, because I don't really know how to explain any of what I just said. It was a hard day for me to process all of his emotions and all of mine. He goes through these moments where he screams about random facts. Like, he kept bringing up my brother who passed away many years ago, and he has every right to bring up, as he calls him, Uncle Richard with a W instead of the Richard. He has every right to talk about him. He has every right to feel and think and know that Uncle Richard was such an important part of our lives, and he can talk about him all of the time. But it's not about that as it is about him, like, watching how I handle those moments and kind of playing off that type of feeling with it. And so that's really the part that's the hardest, is trying to get him to understand that his emotions do not outweigh my emotions or how I feel about something. And that's where it's hard, because he likes to tell people the opposite of something, and he likes to, like, ooh, see, I told you if you kept watching, you'd see where paint, that was too much paint. Anyways, he wants to know, like, how saying the wrong things can kind of create those moments where he's like diving into that territory where it's hard, it's emotional, it's, oh, I hit the camera, sorry folks. And just trying to kind of figure out how to get him to understand that his emotions aren't necessarily, well, they're not wrong. They're just, like, he can't, his emotions don't outshine mine, mine don't outshine his. They're just all separate for all the reasons. And that's not saying his emotions aren't valid. It's just his can't reflect or change how I am sad or something. And he hasn't quite learned how to kind of, if someone else is crying, that means sometimes he is going to laugh instead of keeping the sadness or letting the person have their emotions with that. This one is just not going according to plan here. I just need it to, maybe this will be, like, it felt very stiff or something. I don't know, but that's better. So after a lot of emotions today, we were able to work through more of them, and kind of just, he wasn't as, I'm going to say, harsh, in the sense of him. See, he doesn't understand that he's being rigid or harsh or mean. There's not a right word to describe it, because he doesn't get that. He's not plotting and planning how to upset somebody by not understanding emotions. That's not what it's about. It's just he doesn't know how to handle what's going on or why something is as it is. So it's some days when I'm a little more able to cope with him being putting on those moments where he is, laughing or something. I will kind of maybe put it on a little bit thicker in the sense of how I express my crying or my emotions so that he can learn to process it, and it's not so hard on myself, and that's where we kind of have to walk on that line, and figure it out together, because like I said, he's not trying to do any of these emotions on purpose. Like, he isn't out to, ha ha ha, you've got emotions. He's just learning how to process them and communicate them himself. So, him, laughing at me because I'm crying, he's not understanding that in itself is something that could hurt your feelings, or he just doesn't understand how to even process what he's going through. So again, trying to explain that is hard and emotional for me, because this is my amazing son, and trying to explain that he can't process, or he doesn't have the capabilities yet to be able to explain, or it's a lot. It's a lot. And so hopefully, as time kind of moves forward and passes on, and the things, we'll be able to work more on how he's handling it all, and handling how I'm processing something, or how someone else is processing the moments. And that's the goal. That's the goal of this, is to feel through those moments and let him grow in his own emotions. The leaves don't quite look right, but that's okay. My eyes don't look quite right either tonight. My eyes are very tired. I go tomorrow for another eye exam. They keep doing different, and I'm just going to use mapping because, for lack of better terms, I don't know. But they've checked them numerous times. I had breast cancer, and it's just one thing after another when you go through that. So they wanted to make sure it hadn't spread to my eyes, and then so forth and so on. So that's where we're kind of at. I almost feel like there needs like some little buds or something. Again, if I knew what flower this was in my own little mind of flowers, I might be able to say, oh, well, that's supposed to have little tiny buds to it, or it's not supposed to have little tiny buds to it, but I'm putting them there anyways. But when you are just really kind of making some flowers, oh no, I think my hair got involved in So that's my bouncing ball. Okie dokie. As it dries, sometimes it looks like it has a lot of filler colors in the sense of like just depth and perception and stuff. They go away. And so as it dries, sometimes I have to go back in and just make more, textures and moments and things. So there we go. Anyway, that would have not been fun. I picked up sometimes the caps of the paints get messy, and it had a big clump. That would have not been my favorite had it fallen. So I do O for Owen, and then L, and B. There we go. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.